We are live. Okay, let's see. Like Glory 3, like Jabelcom and Kida is they are familiar with in-houses and highest meta. So let's see how the game goes. I have no previous information about GigaChad, Bob, and Sarek's team. So I'm hoping the best for the teams. Let's see how it goes. Good luck, have fun. So we have tier 2 on second line Terran and first line, and Bob goes T2 as well. Yes, so double T2 opener is not really common, especially from Protoss. Protoss is stronger than T1. Okay, let's see how it goes. So Destroyer opens with 4 Stalkers. He is versus Terran with 4 Stalkers front. Since Terran only has 2 Marines, it's gonna be sufficient. Who is co-casting with me today? Or I'm soloing?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm okay.
Hello. I'm actually sitting here trying to figure out as far as matchup goes, there is no Zerg here, so I'm trying to figure out what kind of strategies they could possibly do or who might actually have like a matchup advantage is if there is one.
So what do you think?
I'm not sure yet. There's some untraditional openers and builds here.
There's another game, actually, after.
Sarek actually killed
I was confused about that.
Kida because Kida has 300 minerals in the bank. So he was
I
not fully
see.
committing his wave, only partially. Destroyer decides that he doesn't need Sentry and Adepts. I have a suspicion he's gonna lose this wave. And it's gonna turn Jabelka in. He's gonna lose the Concave. And he may lose... Okay, he may not lose. Let's see if they scan in time. Who is T2, by the way? Is Jabelka T2? Yeah, Jabelka has a scan if needed. But Jabelka doesn't scan. Let's see if he scans for his teammate. But his teammate has
I'm
only
wondering if he
Reapers.
realizes that the DT is there.
I'm not 100% what Destroyer's doing. Okay, he got a Sentry and a Zealot. He got a second Sentry. But still no Adepts. Okay, and Kivon is winning his wave comfortably, even with the leak. And he's gonna pull up the Marines in front of Marauders, and that's gonna be easier for... Oh, there's no Adepts, so it's... I take that back. Let's see how it goes. Stalkers
I
have
think
no
even without
armor.
I think even without the adepts or the scan, I mean, even without the scan or the more marines, it's without any adepts, it's gonna be trouble for him every
Yes,
round.
yes, yes. He needs Adepts and he needs armor next wave, that's for sure. Bob is going forward his Zealot build, and I don't think it's gonna be sufficient for this wave, but I think it's not gonna be enough for the next wave. Kevan's gonna lose his Concave again, just because of the leaks. But since Sarek needs probably more Reapers to win comfortably this wave. Because Reapers are very, very strong, especially with the grenades. The grenades do AoE, and they have double attack. Okay,
Yeah,
does
and
he get
because
armor? Yeah, he got.
Kavan added in some marines, those marauders are actually in trouble now.
Yes. Okay,
Oh, it
there's...
does look like he added in some adepts. Yes.
Yes. That's a there. The Sentry is not microed, so the hallucinations die first before Adepts can tank something. But it's gonna be enough to clear out the wave of GigaChad. So Bob is being fancy with his hallucinated zealots. But the problem with DTs is that what you're gonna do with DTs when there's a scan? You're gonna turn them in Archons, and Archons are gonna die to the bio. So that's why you never do DT opener versus Terran. So the bunker's gonna tank some of the shots, but the problem with TVT mirror is that even if you lose the concave, you're gonna lose pretty heavily. It's interesting build what Kavan is doing. Like he's not making like a concave, like a half moon. He's making like a reverse of it. Interesting. I have never seen it before.
Yeah, it is very interesting. It does seem to be allowing him to still kill the remaining units and still have his uh, formation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, Bob's build is very interesting now.
I'm interested more about this TVP because seems like Destroyer lost his
Let's see if
wave.
Bob is going to manually cast a disruptor. It does not look like it.
Yeah, but Widowmine is already in the middle, so middle. It's is it gonna be enough? No, the Marines are gonna clear it. If the disruptor shot was right in the sweet spot, I think he could take this wave. Okay, let's see the anti. Okay, there's a turret. Okay, still messes up the concave because Marines get pulled back. And Kawan successfully clears it out. So they both should be
That is
going
a lot.
T2. Yes, there we go. We have T2 here. And he's already T2. He got armor first before getting attack, which is interesting. Okay, there's disruptor from destroyer. He
And that
lost.
is going to hurt.
Yes, that's going to go 5 kills. See, he went T2, so that's why he lost the way before. Okay, let's see the disruptor micro from Bob. It's a bit delayed, but it's still. Oh, it was not so bad.
That was actually pretty good.
Yes. And we have a siege tank from Sharik. Sorry, Sarik. I'm pronouncing correctly.
Sarek? Yeah. But I believe that siege tank may be a little early here.
Yes, it's definitely early. Like you just need more bio, especially when you hit the T2 timing. Just get more bio, and if the opponent is on T1, then your T2 bio is gonna clear it out.
So interestingly enough, GigaChad already did go T2. I'm curious to see what he's gonna build next after all of those marauders.
Mm-hmm. GigaChat definitely needs some Vidamines, and he needs to spread out his bio because
We do
the
have some lives from Sabelka, so let's see how Bob responds to this.
that's true.
This is not looking good for their cannon here.
Nope, as Amsex would say, the cannon's looking soft, but still holding
Oh,
on.
he does manage to save it with 27 hit points left.
Yes, yes. But I believe the Kawan save is gonna clear it out. Kawan really needs his T2 right now. Like desperately he needs T2 here and just get 2 upgrades on bio.
The problem with those two tanks also is that Kavan does have a lot of marauders, which will just wreck those tanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. GigaChat get a Widowmine. That's very good. But since he got some leaks from Kawan's wave, it doesn't really matter. Oh, Kawan's going T2. Very good. So he's gonna get some upgrades.
Okay, so he still doesn't seem to be responding to the libs, which is going to be a big problem.
Mm-hmm. The leaves are gonna do devastating damage. And Jabelka does nice spread, like it would be against like Ravagers, what a greed is very popular for. But it's working here. The siege is a bit late, but it could be because of the ping issues. It still is enough. As long as it's next wave and he's leaking on the next wave, it's any leap sieges are fine. So the top team has a dominating uh, advantage here. Let's see if the bottom team can figure out a way how they can stack and pull back.
Yes, the top team also does have a lot of anti-air units compared to the bottom team. Bottom team is focusing heavily on ground, which is going to be a problem with when the libs start to. Every time the libs come out, they won't be able to kill them.
Yes, that's very true. And Destroyer was doing a very nice Disruptor micro. Okay, Jabelka has T3 now. The Libs are T3. And he has 3+3 attack and 0 armor on bio. Which is okay.
Destroyer is Shadowstorm, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, even with the having middle for 10 minutes, we only see one gas on the top team side here.
They're playing very cautiously. Let's see if they are scanning as well. They haven't scanned the opponent Nexus gases, so it's alright. Oh, those disruptors could be holded for the next wave, but it's okay.
Oh, Bob is adding more zealots to try to deal with the previous wave instead of getting some units that can potentially help with his liberators as well.
Yes, that's true. And Jabelka already has a Thor.
Yes, it does look like he is trying to seal the game here.
Okay, and Kwan has a anti-armor missile on the bio. 3 siege tanks. So it's a dominating advantage that they have gained in 11 minutes of game. And Destroyer decides to go for another for a first gas. Let's see if Jabelka gets his first gas. Bob get the first gas instead of Jabelka. That works too.
Ooh, Sarik has 2 gas as well.
Oh, that's true. It's usually how it goes with a team play like this when you have 3 teammates. The second gas is more expensive than the first one, so it makes sense to wait until your teammates get their first gases first before you go second to maximize the value or maximize the return of invested minerals. But not always teammates agree to your strategies, and everybody has their own mind, so it's okay. But I want to see some stacking units from the bottom team. And currently, we have GigaChad with 7 siege tanks. That is a possible stack. Sarek has 3 siege tanks. The problem with the siege tanks is since Rebelka has 5 liberators, they're pretty good at clearing those siege tanks out.
Yeah, I think that the Terrans could benefit from just adding in Thors and trying to stack tanks and Thors at this point. Um, there's not a lot more they can try to do since Saboka is also T3 already and is trying to stack Thors with his libs.
Hmm.
But with not acknowledging the air at all, it's going those tanks will never stack,
That's very
which is
true.
unfortunate.
Destroyer has decided to go T3 as Protoss and get Colossus. Okay, he's finally getting an Immortal, which I think he really needed before. His sentries are stuck together for some reason, maybe to protect that Archon. It would be beneficial just to spread them out so your guard and shield is covering all your army. Okay, let's see where the game advances from now. The one lib from Jabelka has acquired 13 kills, 14, 15.
That one liberator is just wrecking everything. It's not
Yes,
even
the
being
return of investment on that liberator is very high. Let's call it crypto lib.
18 kills.
18, 18, and it was finally killed by the void race.
But the unfortunate part is here is another set of 5 libs
Yes,
that
that's very true.
they will have to deal with again. Crypto libs, huh?
Hmm. And Sarek got a couple of Vikings, so they're like in time they're gonna deal with the libs. There we go. GigaChat goes for more siege tanks. Bob probably should move his zealots full front in the first line, so he can actually help to catch up with those tanks. because
Bob does need to start making some air units to deal with the liberators so that they can get their stack going. I can see a definite potential
oh,
stacking situation here, but
the destroyer's disruptor micro was very very good.
yes, indeed.
Okay, more Vikings from Sarek. Sarek is putting all in on Vikings because he recognizes the Liberators is a problem. Because he can't get to his wave before the Liberators kill half his siege tanks. So that's a very good way how to deal with it. He needs to work together with his team as well. So GigaChad is getting more Vikings as well. Okay, they even scan the siege tanks. So the siege tanks, The funny thing about siege tank, a lot of people don't know it. They can shoot further than they can see. So if there are no units in front that give vision, the siege tank is gonna unsiege and move forward until it sees the unit. But if the siege tanks are sieged and all your units die, you can scan ahead, and the siege tank is gonna keep shooting. That's one way how you can kill the Nexus and Planetary Fortress. If the siege tanks sit around this area, you scan, and they're just gonna kill it. That's a small tip from a couple thousand games of experience. Okay, so Jabelka's Liberators are finally dying to the Vikings and Marines. 5 siege tanks survived, but the problem is that Kevan has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 siege tanks, and they are microed, so they're not sieging, and it's gonna siege now when the next wave comes. So very good play from Kevan. He recognizes that siege tanks sieging and sieging, sieging and sieging is not very effective, so he's manually controlling them, which is considered a high level play.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm noticing that both Sarik and Kevan both have a strong ground army. I think if Sarik were to sell some of his ground units for libs and Thors and try to kill, get past Zabelka's army, that he could actually beat Kavan's wave just by having a massive amount of liberators.
Yes, the Liberator strategy. I think people don't discover the Liberator strategy that often by themselves. Usually, how it goes with Liberators is that somebody shows them how to do it properly. Usually in GDSL in-house setting. So basically, how the strategy goes when you are being pushed into your side, you can sell a lot of your units and go for T3 leaps. What Jabelk is doing. You can try to position them in the back, and using rapid fire, you can siege them very close to your planetary and nexus to stack together with the next wave, and then those leaps are gonna clear out a lot of units. And together with your teammates' help, you can clear and push back to the middle or even past the middle. But usually players who are not really playing in-house like how we should call it, um, setting, in-house setting, then people don't know it that it's an option to do.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
That would be definitely one way how they can come back in this game. But the problem is that they have to do it on specific time. Usually the T3 leap switch going into air happens around minute 10 to 12. So currently they're in already 18 minutes, and there's a lot of income advantage to the top team. They can get a lot of Thors, they can get a lot of
Yeah,
extra
the top
Vikings.
team did just go second gas each, so I think they are looking to secure this game here as well.
Yes, Kavan could definitely benefit from some anti-air. He's getting his first Viking. The way how he's currently building is very vulnerable to some lib switches. But since the bottom team didn't utilize this option, his build was very good, very okay. Because after him, okay, he kills his wave. After him comes another Terran, so his siege tanks are gonna just do a havoc on those bio ground units. So Bob decides to go for stacking. He goes for stacking Tempest. I think his worker is already foreshadowing that he wants to do Tempest. Let's see how it goes. The problem with the double Terran though, since there's a lot of Thors, the Tempests are a prime target for the Thor, since it's a massive unit. Sorry, since it's air unit, not master. Doesn't really matter. And as you can see, the Kivan with the red circle is scanning ahead for his siege tanks. So like I said before, siege tanks can shoot farther down than they can see to maximize the efficiency. One thing, by the way, I have noticed in high-level games, when high-level players are playing, they are scanning or utilizing scan way more often than the normal players who don't play on the highest level. Um, yes, the Thor damage matters, yes, of course, if it's massive. Sorry, I got it wrong. But basically about the scans is that I have noticed that usually high level players scan way more often their waves and they scan for their teammates. At the end of the game, they spend way more money on scans than the average normal players. I think we got a bit of a lag spike.
I believe it might just be on your end, Drizzle.
Or it could be Zrebelka. Like, we have a famous trifecta joke that
Oh yes, yes,
mhm.
yes.
So when it comes to lagging and disconnection, so if the player disconnects, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think the team gets forfeit for that specific game if some player disconnects, unless they agree on playing from the replay.
Oh, so Sarik did go ahead and get some liberators. I believe it may possibly be too late since Kavan got some Thors out. So this is does seem
Mhm.
like it could potentially just be a slow and painful battle here.
Yes, and especially since Jabelk is leaking his 2 lines of Thors, it's kind of hard to stack libs. That's where the timer is important because at 10-12 minute mark, you're not gonna have Thors at all, or maybe like 1 or 2 maximum. So that's why the libs are very effective at that timing. But at 20 minutes, there's a lot of Thors already out, so the lib stacking is the chances of being its success is very reduced. A GigaChat goes for libs as well. So they are both okay. All three teammates are starting to communicate and try to stack siege tanks, liberators, tempest, and liberators. Let's see if they are successful doing that.
Yes, and the thing is, losing the bunker. I mean, I know you mentioned the 20-minute mark by now, but losing the bunker does not mean you have lost the game. We have seen so many things happen that at any point the game can turn around. We have seen games turn around after the 25-minute mark also. With the correct compositions and things like that, anything is possible.
Mhm. Oh, GigaChat actually managed to put his liberators on one side and rapid fire siege. It's very good. Okay, that's very good. There's some rapid fire micro.
Okay,
Uh,
and then he is also running into, let's see if he can see.
Bob really needs some Phoenix in front to catch and protect those liberators. If there's no Phoenix in front to catch the liberators in the back, liberators just gonna take extra shots from the incoming wave.
For people watching that are not sure what you mean by catching the units in front, can you kind of just explain that real quick?
Yes. So when it comes to trying to push back and try to stack the waves together, as you can see, Bob is trying to put his units in the back, so they spawn later, like they spawn in the back, and they have some extra 1 or 2 seconds until they move front. So how it goes with a high level play when you try to stack liberators, you try to put them all in the back, and then the player who comes after 20 seconds, like in this case Bob, he could put some Phoenix in front, and since Phoenix has a smaller range than Liberator, it's gonna move in front of it. And then the incoming wave, like with carriers and void rays, are gonna shoot the Phoenix instead of Liberator, and Liberator can in the same time do damage to the ground, like in this case. If the Phoenix will be here where the Archon is, it could fly in front of the Liberator.
Yes, and that would actually maximize their stacking potential as well. Not necessarily there to do any kind of specific damage, but just to take the hits while the next wave is starting to set up.
Hmm. Okay, we have tier 4. Top team Algae are opening tier 4 right away.
These stores are looking very devastating though right now.
Yes, and Planetary is getting okay. Planetary is getting some base damage.
Okay, I believe
This
that
could
is
be a game. Yeah, that's GG.
all right.
Congratulations to
GG.
the Glory Tree for winning their game. Thanks everybody for watching. We will be back shortly with the next game.